Breaking! Arsenal lost the race for Guehi to 3 clubs. Ben White's £35 million replacement already lined up. And wait. Is Eberechi Eze the worst signing of the season? $67 million down the drain. Gooners, you're not ready for what I'm about to expose here. What's up, Gooners? Before we get into this heavy discussion, do me a massive favour and smash that like button right now. It genuinely helps the channel grow and keeps these daily Arsenal updates coming your way. Appreciated! Let's start with the Marc Guehi situation, because Sky Sports just dropped some truth bombs that Arsenal fans need to hear. Kave Solhekol gave a full update on the Guehi transfer race, and here's the headline. The race is wide open. There's no frontrunner. There's no favourite. It genuinely could go any direction. 4 clubs are seriously involved: Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City and Bayern Munich. But here's where it gets interesting for us. Manchester City are the only club who want Guehi this January. They're desperate because of injuries to their centre-backs. Ruben Dias, Josko Gvardiol, both out. Pep needs reinforcements now, not in summer. City are willing to pay Crystal Palace serious money mid-season to solve their defensive crisis. Arsenal, Liverpool and Bayern, we're all targeting summer. Free transfer, no fee to Palace, just wages and signing bonuses to negotiate. Makes financial sense, right? Now here's the part that should concern Arsenal fans. Solhekol was asked specifically about Arsenal's interest level, and his response was revealing. He said Arsenal have a lot of strength in depth. Gabriel and William Saliba just signed new contracts. And then the killer line, Arsenal's need is not as pressing as other clubs. Think about what that means. Arsenal's interest is genuine, yes. Mikel Arteta was spotted chatting with Guehi after our win over Palace. Arteta clearly likes him. The interest is real. But compared to the other clubs, our need isn't urgent. At Liverpool, Guehi walks into that starting 11. Virgil van Dijk is ageing. They need his replacement. At Manchester City, same story. Immediate starter given their injury crisis and aging defenders. At Bayern Munich, he's a guaranteed starter in one of Europe's biggest clubs. At Arsenal, he's competing with Gabriel and Saliba. 2 players who just signed new long-term deals. 2 players who form arguably the best centre-back partnership in European football. 2 players who, when fit, are absolutely undroppable. So from Guehi's perspective at 25 years old, at the peak of his powers, leaving Crystal Palace as captain, why would he choose to sit on Arsenal's bench? He's got 3 other options where he starts every single week. And here's my honest take on this. I actually think Arsenal not being desperate for Guehi might be a good thing. It means our defensive situation is solid. It means Gabriel and Saliba are performing so well that we don't urgently need another world-class centre-back. That's a position of strength, not weakness. Yes, having Guehi as backup would be luxury, but there's a risk here too. You bring in a 25-year-old defender of Guehi's quality, tell him he's 3rd choice behind Gabriel and Saliba, and how long before he gets frustrated? How long before it creates dressing room tension? Our squad balance is fantastic right now. Why risk disrupting that? Unless Arsenal know something we don't about Saliba's future with Real Madrid lurking, I genuinely think sitting this one out might be smart. Let Liverpool, City or Bayern have him. We focus on other areas. Now let's talk about Ben White's potential replacement, because this is a name you need to know: Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes. Team Talk are reporting that Arsenal are now genuine contenders to sign the 20-year-old French defender, and we're not alone. Real Madrid, Manchester United and Chelsea are all circling. Rennes are prepared to wait until summer before selling, because they believe a bidding war could break out. So who is Jeremy Jacquet? Young French centre-back who's been absolutely tearing it up in League One this season. And the stats back up the hype. Let me give you the numbers because they're impressive. Tackles per 90 minutes, 1.95. That puts him in the 84th percentile. Good, not great, but then look at interceptions, 1.69 per 90. That's 95th percentile. Elite level reading of the game for a 20-year-old. And here's what's really interesting. Successful take-ons at 0.34 per 90, 82nd percentile. That tells you he's comfortable on the ball, can carry it forward, can dribble out of pressure. Exactly the kind of defender Arteta loves. Scout Ben Mattinson described Xhaka as scarily talented and explained why he'd be perfect for Arsenal. He's got a big stride, he's an athletic carrier, but he also has good ball manipulation for his height. And crucially, Mattinson thinks Xhaka could flourish at right back, overlapping to create cutbacks and crosses or tucking inside to form a back three. Sound familiar? That's literally Ben White's role in our system. A centre-back by trade who can also play right back and invert when needed. Xhaka is basically a younger, cheaper version of what White does for us. Now, why are we even looking at White replacements? Because his future is genuinely uncertain. He's made just 5 Premier League appearances this season. He's a cup player right now, starting in the FA Cup against Portsmouth, starting in the League Cup semi-final against Chelsea where he scored. But in the league, Jurrien Timber has that right-back spot locked down. White is 28 years old. He's made 165 Premier League appearances. He's experienced, he's proven, he's quality. But does he want to be a backup at this stage of his career? Probably not. Everton were reportedly interested in taking him on loan. Arsenal blocked it for now because we're fighting on 4 fronts, but come summer, different story. If White wants regular football and decides to leave, Arsenal would want serious money. Close to the 50 million we paid Brighton. But clubs might hesitate at that price for a 28-year-old backup. That's where Xhaka becomes interesting. He's 20. He's got his whole career ahead of him. The reported price tag is £35 million. That's 15 million less than what we'd want for White. Younger, cheaper, similar skill set, massive potential. From a pure business perspective, this makes sense. Sell White for 45 to 50 million, buy Xhaka for 35 million. Net spend of 10 to 15 million, and you've got a player who could be Arsenal's right back for the next decade. The question is whether Xhaka is ready for the Premier League and whether he can handle the pressure of playing for a title-challenging Arsenal side. That's the risk. White is proven. Xhaka is potential, but potential that Real Madrid, United and Chelsea are also monitoring. Right, time for the uncomfortable conversation. Eberechi Eze, and I need you to hear me out on this because the numbers don't lie. Eze cost Arsenal around £67 million last summer. Massive signing, huge excitement. The talent is undeniable. We all saw that hat-trick in the North London derby back in November. Absolutely sensational performance. But here's the brutal reality, that North London derby was the last time he scored in the Premier League. November. We're now in mid-January. That's 10 league games without a goal. Want it to get worse? His last assist in the league came in September, matchday 5 against Manchester City. We're on matchday 21 now. That's 16 games without creating a goal. Let's look at his full season stats because they make for difficult reading. 15 Premier League appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists. 5 Champions League games, 0 goals, 2 assists. 3 League Cup games, 1 goal, 0 assists. 1 FA Cup game against Portsmouth where he was, and I'm being honest here, comfortably one of Arsenal's most underwhelming players. Total for the season, 24 appearances, 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 goal contributions from a £67 million attacking midfielder. That's simply not good enough for a player of his price tag and supposed talent level. And it gets worse. His game time has completely dried up recently. Since he started the win over Wolves in mid-December, he's made 1 league appearance. 1. A 12-minute cameo off the bench against Liverpool, that's it. Wednesday night against Chelsea in the League Cup semi-final. Didn't even get on the pitch. 78 minutes of action available after subs were made. Arteta didn't turn to Eze once. Now compare that to Victor Gyökeres in the same match. Gyökeres has had a tough start to his Arsenal career after his £63.5 million move from Sporting. Only 1 goal in 10 games before Wednesday, and that was a penalty. Fans and pundits were getting on his back, questioning whether he could adapt to English football. But against Chelsea, Gyökeres stepped up, scored his first open play goal since the Burnley game, then held the ball up perfectly for Martin Zubimendi's goal, 2 crucial contributions in a huge semi-final. That's a statement performance. That's a player fighting back against criticism. Eze couldn't even get off the bench. And that's the difference right now. When Gyökeres was struggling, Arteta kept faith, gave him chances. When Eze struggles, he gets dropped completely. Rio Ferdinand called Eze unpredictable, and that's supposed to be a compliment about his talent. But unpredictable can also mean inconsistent. It can mean you don't know which version of the player you're getting, and for a title-challenging team, that's a problem. Look, I want to be clear, Eze is hugely talented. We all know what he's capable of. That North London derby proved it, the ability is there. But talent alone isn't enough at this level. You need consistency. You need to deliver week after week. You need to make yourself undroppable. Right now, Eze is the opposite. He's becoming the easiest player to drop because Arteta knows he's got better, more reliable options. And for a £67 million signing in his first season, that's genuinely concerning. Can he turn it around? Absolutely. It's only January, plenty of season left, but the trend is going the wrong direction. Less game time. Fewer goal contributions, more questions than answers. If this continues, the tag of worst summer signing sticks to him, and that's not fair on a player of his quality. He needs a big performance soon. A moment to remind everyone why Arsenal spent that money, because right now he's in real danger of becoming a massive waste of money. So there it is, Gooners. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think Arsenal should go all in for Guehi or focus elsewhere given we're not his likely destination? Would you sell Ben White for 45 million and bring in Xhaka for 35 million this summer? And the big one, is it too early to call Eze a flop, or are the concerns justified? Drop your honest opinions below. Let's have a proper discussion about this. No toxic negativity, just real Arsenal fan debate. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button now and turn notifications on so you never miss our daily Arsenal content. Thanks for watching, Gooners, and remember, come on you Gunners!